Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2002 movie 101 Dalmatians 2 Patch's London Adventure. So in this movie, being one of 101 takes its toll on Patch, who doesn't feel unique, and when he's accidentally left behind on moving day, he meets his idol Thunderbolt, who enlists him on a publicity campaign to help him keep his show. And Cruella de Vil has her own plans for him and his brothers and sisters. This movie is pretty fun. I had never seen it all the way through until last night. I had seen like the first 2 acts of it and didn't really get into it as a kid. It was more of one of those movies that my brother liked, but I never really gave it a fair shot and watched it all the way through because I loved the first 101 Dalmatians. Never felt like it needed a sequel, and I still feel like this movie doesn't really necessarily have a reason to exist. It was just made to make money and everything, but there was a lot more care and stuff put into this movie than I thought there would be. Like the animation, that you could tell they were trying to match the same style as the original, and it even has that sketchiness to it that I call that the first one has in it and everything. I thought it was kind of cool that they really tried to make it look and feel like a good continuation of the first one. Is it a good continuation of the first one? Not necessarily. The first one really didn't need a sequel, but this one does make up for some of the things that I wish it would have done in the first one, like with Cruella at the end of the movie, like when she goes to jail and stuff. I think that seeing her and Jasper and Horace go to jail again, or for them too, because she got away with it the first time and everything, because Anita and Roger didn't know Cruella was involved. But I like how this is a decent continuation of the first movie. It's entertaining. Patch is a likable lead character. He was always one of my favorite Dalmatian puppies in the first one. He's the one that always loved watching the Thunderbolt show, and they expanded upon that in the lore of this movie to like show how big of a fan of the show he is and how much he looks up to Thunderbolt. And I thought Thunderbolt was a very likable character. Barry Bostwick does his voice and does a pretty good job. And I think all the voice actors do a good job. The ones that do the voice of Pongo and Perdita, one of them, Perdita's voiced by Jodie Benson. I can't remember who does the voice of Pongo, but they both do a great job, and they sound a lot like their original voices. I think Jodie Benson is Perdita. She might be, she actually might be Anita, but I know Jodie Benson's in this movie as one of those 2 characters. And Pongo and Perdita aren't in this movie a lot. Most of the Dalmatian puppies aren't in it a lot either. It's mostly about Patch and Thunderbolt and everything, and all the stuff that they did and stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was more fun than I expected it to be. I kind of thought this was going to be kind of like a rehash of what they did with Lady and the Tramp 2 and everything, but it really wasn't. It's its own story. It doesn't try to be like Lady and the Tramp 2 and everything. It just looked familiar, like it was similar to it, but it wasn't. And I like that they even had Jacques from Lady and the Tramp have a cameo in here like they did in the first one and everything, because I think they set Lady and the Tramp and this in the same universe and everything. I always kind of somewhat wanted them to do some kind of crossover with the Dalmatians and Lady and the Tramp, and I think that would have been kind of cool. But the animation in this, like I said, it holds up really well. It looks really good. It's not like a lot of the direct-to-video sequels that have really low-quality animation and everything. And I think part of the reason this one's animation is probably so good and fits so well with the original's animation is because it's a lower-budgeted movie and stuff, and they probably were able to keep it around the same budget that what the first one would have been a long time ago. So that might have been why it looks so good and works so good. It does have some corniness to it, which all these direct-to-video sequels do, but it has a good message about standing out and stuff like that. And Patch is a really likable main character. Like I said, it just This movie has some fun stuff. It did do some rehashing with Cruella de Vil and Jasper and Horace in the third act that didn't necessarily have to be in there when they re-kidnapped the puppies and stuff like that. It kind of just felt like they were trying to rehash the first one, and that's one of the big problems with these direct-to-video sequels, is they try to rehash the plots of the original instead of making them original sequels and everything. But this one is, for the most part, original. There's a new character added in here that's doing paintings for Cruella de Vil, who's having him do a bunch of painting of spots and stuff, and then she gets the crazy idea to kidnap the puppies again and everything. And I love, like, we actually see her bash Thunderbolt in the head, except of course it's not brutally violent because it's a cartoon and stuff, but like it cuts away right as she's about to hit him, but you hear the bucket hit his head and you see him knocked out and everything, and it's like, dang, Cruella is actually kind of creepy at times in this movie. Like they did a good job making her still a crazy villain and everything, and I love that about this movie. They were respectful to the characterizations of the characters in this, and so I feel like this is one of the better Disney animated sequels, which a lot of them I've been saying that on. I apparently like a lot of these movies more than I thought I would or did as a kid nowadays. I can see more of the entertainment value in some of them and everything, but this one is definitely one of the ones that I didn't watch all the way through as a kid that I'm glad that I finally revisited and everything. It's not one I'm going to want to watch very often. I probably won't even watch it every time I watch the original one, but this one's worth at least watching every once in a blue moon. It's an okay enough time, so I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's entertaining enough and everything. It is a little corny, and it does kind of get slow during the middle of it for a little bit, for like about 20 minutes of it in the middle. It's a little bit slow, but once the third act picks up, it gets better again and is pretty enjoyable. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of 101 Dalmatians 2. And I hope you enjoy this video, and have a good day, everybody.